The quarantine measure announced, let me address this to Eoghan Corry. The quarantine measure that was announced last night is far more stringent. It comes with a fine of €2,500 or 6 months in prison if you don't comply with it. We've got a figure from the Department of Justice. It relates to the period of the 28th of April to the 18th of May in Dublin Airport. They say for everyone expected to fill out the form, the passenger locator form, there was a compliance rate of just under 70%. So 30% of people didn't comply. Was there a need, in your opinion, to bolster, strengthen the law to such a degree?
No, because the number of people involved is so small. What we had was probably a checking level wasn't, dealing third-hand experience here, that the checking level of the forms when they arrived wasn't very high. Don't think it was taken that seriously. Most of the people who are coming through are not tourists. There are no tourists in the country. There is an exemption for people, by the way. If you say you're going to Belfast, you're not going to be handing over the form. What we have is people reacting to photographs on social media, the Keelings case, all of that, where resources which are better deployed elsewhere are now being talked about, moved to an airport. The airports have not been where infections have come from. Across Europe, there isn't a quarantine in most of the European countries for people within the European Union. The ones that have brought it in are talking about Spain, for instance, and we're talking about removing it on June the 7th. Parts of Europe are talking about reopening. There's a European Commission plan, 500 pages.
Yeah, but we're balancing public health here
and now we're going against it.
You're on the task force. But you're on the tourism recovery task force. So there's a balance here between protecting the public and public health and allowing sectors like tourism to recover. What about Anne Rabbitt's point that you're basically, with this quarantine, telling people, come to Ireland, isolate for 14 days and get a taxi back then?
It's really important that the isolation, the quarantine be removed early, and early in the booking cycle. When it comes up for review on June the 18th, hopefully they'll look at it and they say this isn't really serving any purpose, and it's a waste of resources that could be put into real public health issues. What we need to, there isn't going to be any tourism until probably late August at the best. A lot of the industry is writing off the whole of the season, but in the booking cycle, we do not want the message going out that alone of the 27 countries, Britain is doing their own thing, but the only European country that is putting quarantine on fellow European citizens is Ireland. What sort of a message is that to send out to the rest of Europe?